Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to MDCAT preparatory classes. Today we are going to learn about conditional sentences. There are four types of conditional sentences. The first type is called zero conditional. In this type, there are facts, truths, and habits described. Just like we say, if you heat butter, it melts. In this type, there are two classes. The one is if clause, and the other is main clause or the result clause. In this type, in the if clause, we have present indefinite, and in the main clause is also present indefinite tense. As I told you that there are facts, truths, and habits described in this type. We have some sentences here. If you heat butter, it melts. It means that it is a scientific fact and it is always the same result. When you heat butter, it always melts. And there are some truths, just like if you eat less, you lose weight. So we can also describe here that are truths that we know in our daily life. Another sentence is if I am happy, I smile. It means that is my habit that I always, when I am happy, I always smile. There is we can use when and where in place of if. We have got sentences here, when you heat butter, it melts. We can use when instead of if, and we can also use whenever instead of if. Just like in this sentence, if I am happy, I smile. Another feature of this type 0 is that we can use imperative sentences in also the main clause. Just like here the sentence, if you are lost, please call me. So here we have in the main class, please call me, and that is imperative sentence. So here we can use present indefinite and present indefinite, and in some sentences we can also use imperative sentences also. We have got the second type, it is type 1. In this type, we have real word, but in specific conditions, some things happen when we do some things. Just like if we don't leave now, we will miss the train. It means that we have to leave now. If we don't leave, this is a specific condition. That if we don't leave now, then the result is we will miss the train. Another sentence, if you work hard, this is condition. If this condition is completed, you will pass the test. So, in type 1, we are in a real world, but there needs to be some specific condition for some results. If I don't leave now, we may miss the train. In this sentence, you will notice that we have used may here. May is a modal verb. It means that in conditional type 1, we can also use conditionals in the main class. So, in the second sentence, we have if you work hard, you can pass the test. Here we have used can. So, it goes to show that we may have in the if clause present indefinite, and in the result clause or in the main clause we have future indefinite, but in the result clause we may also use modal verbs. Modal verbs just like may, might, can, could, must, have to, had to. These modal verbs can also be used in the main class. Now we are going to the type 2. Conditional type 2 is very special conditional. This is unreal and against the facts. But we have here two tenses. It may be present tense or it may be future tense, but present or future are in unreal past. Just like we say, if he came, we would welcome him. If he came, it's unreal past. We can say it is unreal past, it is not the real past. If he came means it is not possible that he will come here. We would welcome him. We are not expecting him to come. That's why we have used if he came, we would welcome him. It means that it is not possible, it is not probable that he would come. So we say that if he came, we would welcome him. We have to see here that as it is unreal past, we can use uh, with singular pronouns I, she, he, and it. We have to use were also. Here we have used if I were you. It means that I am not you. It is unreal. It is against effect. If I were you, I would reward him. It means that it is against effect that I am not in place of you. You are doing this job, but if I were you, I would reward him. Uh, we can use simple continuous conditional also in this sense, in this conditional type too. Remember that we could welcome him, it is a simple conditional. It is called a simple conditional tense, and this is a continuous conditional tense. And when we use we would welcome him, we use would here, then it is a simple conditional. So we have learned that in the conditional type 2, in the if clause, we have unreal past, and in the result clause, we have simple conditional. In simple conditional, we use would and should here. But we have learned that we can also use continuous conditional tense here, just like here. If I knew French, I would be living in France. Now we have conditional type 3. Conditional type 3 is imaginary past. The action in this type did not happen. It never happened. But it is an imaginary condition that if we had done that, then the result would have that. So we have a sentence, if I had worked hard, I would have passed. It means that I did not work hard in the past, so I could not pass. This is very imaginary sentences, and they are said to be in the imaginary past, and these actions did not happen, so we did not get the result we are describing here. We have another sentence, if you had called me, I would have helped you. It means that you did not call me, and you did not call me, that I could not help you. This is very imaginary situation, that if you had called me, I was ready, I could have helped you. There is another alternation that if we can use instead of if had here, we use had uh, before the subject, and we can remove if from here. Had I worked hard, I would have passed. Now we look at the tenses that are used in the conditional type 3. In the if clause, we have past perfect. We have past perfect tense, and we always use the had here, and the verb is in the third form. So I should correct it. If I had worked hard, I would have passed. If you had called me, here called is rightly written. If you had called me, I would have helped you. I would have helped you. This is called perfect conditional. This tense is called perfect conditional. It means that we have learned three new tenses. The first is simple conditional. There we have would here, and the other is a continuous conditional, where we have got would and be, plus verb in the fourth form. And here in the conditional type 3, we have perfect conditional here in which we use would and have and the verb in the third form. So these are conditional sentences here. We have got four conditionals: type 0, type 1, type 2 and type 3. Thank you very much.